Boom shakalaka. Hi.
I ask you to intro the video, and that's what you've got.
Hi, it's Chloe and Glenn from Up Late, the YouTube video
Facebook
chat
video
that we do.
thing. Hey everybody, Glenn and Chloe from Up Late. Also from the Good Movie Monday podcast, and Chloe's from the Movie Night with the Richie Girls podcast. How are you?
You are so much better at that than I am, and I'll get better so we can share the load. I'm really good. How are you?
Yeah, doing good. Hey, I just want to mention something. Last week on this video, I could have sworn you looked 23, but tonight you look 24.
Oh my god, you noticed.
Is it like if you aged a year?
I may have. I've
Happy
aged
birthday.
many years over the weekend. Thanks. Yeah, good. It's so bad getting old, isn't it?
Well, you've got a long way to catch up to me yet, so.
I like to say 21 plus 10. Because then you still got the 21 in there. Makes
That's
me feel
true.
better about myself.
All right, whatever makes you feel better.
Yeah, well we'll go with that, shall we?
Yeah. Oh, so what's been going on? We're here to talk about movie stuff. So have you even had time to note anything down this week? I know you've been busy.
I have been super busy. Never too busy for you. But I've seen a few trailers and I watched a few movies when I had some downtime at some point. But I watched that new Red Notice with Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot.
And you watched the trailer or you watched the movie?
I half watched the movie. It was boring as fuck.
I'm glad you said that. I haven't seen it, but I have no desire to see it either.
Look, I had no desire to see it either, but hubby put it on and I'm just like, all right, I'll sit here while it's on. And it was just so terrible. And it's becoming one of the most watched movies on Netflix. How? Why?
Because Netflix are dumbing down the audience, and this is what happens is they've got so much content that there's the integrity in their product is dwindling quickly, and
it has.
But the consumers, most of the consumers, the average moviegoer, they're not picking up on the fact that they're being given a diluted kind of product.
It was just a piece of crap.
I mean, that's how I feel about it. That's my problem with streaming services now is that they're all competing to get as much content up as possible. That there's a certain amount of integrity that's lost. Maybe I'm just getting old. I don't know, but
no, I think I agree with you there, and I think I would stick more with a streaming service that wouldn't put out content as quickly but quality. So if there was like a streaming service, I feel like Stan is a lot like that sometimes. But look, Netflix has really shit bricks on this one, I think.
See, the quality tends to appear when they acquire movies as opposed to produce them themselves.
Right. Yeah.
With that being said, there's a lot of good stuff on these services. It's not like it's all tripe, but I think when they acquire like an independent film, like Stan just got Nitram, which is a great film, but had they produced it in-house, it might not have been as good.
Yeah. I agree with you there. But yeah, so that was one.
Speaking of boring, I went and saw Dune on Monday.
Oh, I have heard terrible things about this movie.
See, I've heard both good and bad, and here's an interesting thing because it bored the shit out of me. It really bored the shit out of me. I have a lot of issues with certain things about the Dune universe and just this particular one in general. It was glorious to look at, really nice to look at, but there was no good character development, no subtext that sort of did it for me. But the sound design, it was like an ongoing headache.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like he took the sound that the director Denis Villeneuve, I think his name is, it's like he took the sound design from his Blade Runner sequel and just plonked it into this one and then amped the volume and just beat us over the head with it the whole way through.
God.
It didn't need to be as long as it was. Do you know what I have the the issue I have with this genre? And when I say genre, I'm talking about sci-fi that are sort of in a dust-swept futuristic landscape, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they've got the technology to have all these fancy spaceships and fucking force fields that they can just tap into and all this kind of stuff. But they can't come up with light bulbs for like their houses and their rooms. Every conversation's in the dark. They're in their house at the dinner table. It's fucking dark. It's like, come on. At least in Star Wars, it's all neon lit, like it's white.
You make
hell.
a really great point there. It's for the sake of mood setting, he's foregone light bulbs, and that's just played on your nerves.
Well, it takes the realism out of it for me.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. And I found a lot of his stuff in there, like certain conversations or interactions with characters were shot in like two shot with not much behind them, almost like they've just gone into a little room instead of a soundstage and shot, on a green screen, as opposed to like having a production. Look, but the universe itself was very well conceived, and I enjoyed that component to it.
So I'm confused as to whether it was a video game, was it a graphic novel,
no.
adaptation, or
Dune is it's a novel, like it's a big novel. I think it might be a series of novels.
It is, yeah. Okay.
Frank Hubert is the author, and David Lynch back in the 80s famously made the first sort of big adaptation of Dune. With Kyle MacLachlan and Sting and a few other people, and that got kind of lambasted. Like it was sort of ridiculed for a long time, and only now in the last maybe 10 years has it sort of got itself a really respectful kind of following. But I think this new one kind of makes that one look better. Like I'm thinking back to the David Lynch one, I'm like, I kind of like that a lot more now. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was a big boring movie to see on IMAX. It's part 1 of 2. Like, will I go back for the second one? Probably, if I'm obligated to. But I did speak to a friend who's a huge Dune fan, and they said it was the best thing ever. So go figure.
Yeah, I think it might have been one of those made for the fans type deals where they just didn't think about the outside audience and they kept it within the box type thing.
Yeah, although it does feel like this one's leaning very heavily into the Star Wars universe. Like they're trying to replicate what recent Star Wars, like all of the desert planet stuff from the recent Star Wars. That's what it feels like, but just
right.
Yeah,
very Mandalorian vibes. You mean?
Yeah, totally. Anyway,
interesting. So I was wondering about that one, so I'm glad you brought that up.
There you go. What else you got there?
What did I have? Oh, I watched a really cute trailer for a new animation, which I'm really excited about, coming out next year, called Rumble. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for it.
I have not seen the trailer, but I've seen like poster images and like banners and stuff.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty pumped. I'm pumped for this one. It's kind of like a WWE type thing, but with monsters. And so like they train the monsters up to fight each other for like a championship type thing. And I think it's one that the kids are going to really like because they're super into monsters and beating the shit out of each other. So I feel like it's right up our family's alley. So we might even, make a trip to the movies to see this one. I'm pretty excited.
That sounds good. There's nothing like a trip to the movies with kids, except if you're Ben and I sitting behind you, and fucking hell, I'll tell you what.
Well, I make this a point. If you're going to a kids movie, suck it up.
Ben and I went to an advance screening of Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And throughout the entire fucking film, it was just kids getting up and down, right? And like, I've got kids. I know what that's like. I used to take my kids to see things like the Chipmunks and movies like that, right? And it is just it's like a kids free for all, right? Fucking popcorn flying, it's fucking screaming, blah, blah, blah. This is not that much of a kids movie, right? So this, firstly, was by invitation, right? So you're invited to tag along. If you're the kind of people that have those sort of kids, don't go or don't take them.
No.
Don't take them, right? Because this is an audience full of like invited guests, most of them from the media, who are there for a reason, right? We're there to engage with this film. I'll tell you what, man, they fucking up and down. And like, I've been in that environment before, but Ben hasn't. And he's like, fucking hell. He's like, if you can't toilet train your child, he's like, he even said on the show, that his dog was toilet trained faster than these fuckers.
Yeah, look, I have a very similar opinion, and hence why we haven't gone to the movies, because it's a sacred experience for me. And it's the same with my mum as well, which is why we're so heavily into movies as well. So, you sit there, you watch the movie. You drink all your Pepsi, you drink all your lemonade, you fucking hold your bladder because you ain't going to the toilet. You are watching. If you're going to miss the movie, why would you go? No.
This is why you were part of the Good Movie Monday universe.
But also, on the other hand, if you do have small children, it is a nice experience to go with your kids and to get them into that sort of experience. If you go to a kid's movie, suck it up and deal with it.
This is why they have mums and bub sessions.
Yeah, but then that's not always realistic, because I have 3 kids and I have only realistically been able to go to one of those sessions.
Yep, fair enough.
Because there's just, that's all good and well, but it's fucking 2:00 on a Tuesday. What's that? No, what's that going to do for me? I'm sorry. But
no, but you are spot on. I would expect it and not have a problem with it if it was a kids movie. However, I remember going. I'm just a grumpy old man, I guess. I remember going to see the premiere of Shaun the Sheep Farmageddon, right? So my wife and I went all the way to Southland for that one, which is a fair hike, and we got there, and there were face painting at the front near the screen. And balloon making over there in the corner. We're like, okay, this is a kid's session. That's cool. Movie's supposed to start in 5 minutes, and there's still a line of about 100 kids waiting to get their fucking face painted. So what's going to happen when you tell them to sit down and not get their face painted?
Oh, so shit's going to hit the fan, yeah.
Yeah, yep. So we're within 45 minutes past the start time. Okay. You haven't even tried to cull that line? No, they're still lined up, and we end up walking out. We couldn't do it.
Yeah, no, I don't think those sessions are for you.
No, they're not. But those movies are. Those movies are totally for me.
But also, on the other hand, if you're going to have face painting, do it well before the movie and
in the foyer.
Yeah. No, in a movie theater is not for balloon animals and face painting. So
I know the I know the rep who was running that screening, and the look of regret on her face was palpable.
Yep. As I'm sure a lot of the parents were as well.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Yeah. It's got Will Arnett, who's the main voice
cool.
of the main monster, and he does really good voiceovers. So I'm okay with him doing the voiceover. I think he's actually a really good cast for that. And I can never pronounce her name, but she's Australian. And her name is Geraldine something or other. I can't remember her last name, but she was in the TV show Miracle Workers with Steve Buscemi and Daniel Radcliffe. And she is phenomenal. So she's going to be the voice of the girl trainer, which I'm really excited about too. So
awesome.
I think it's going to be a really good one.
It's not Rosie.
Not Rosie. Fucking Rosie.
What else? What do we got? We're plowing through this one. This is good. I was
yeah, I've got some more.
Bring it on.
What about have you heard about the Gorillaz? You remember the band, the Gorillaz?
Remember the band? They're still going, and I still love them. Yes.
Oh, so they're making a movie, an animated movie?
Yeah, with all the characters.
Yeah. So this is what I'm just learning, right? I didn't realize that they created those characters specifically for that band. I thought it was just a fun little video clip type thing.
No,
so I was too young to understand all of that. I was too young.
I adore the Gorillaz. This is one of top 10 all-time artists for me. David Albarn, who created the Gorillaz, conceived these characters as in lieu of them revealing themselves, their identities.
Yeah.
So they were going to kind of be like a Daft Punk where they don't get seen. That kind of went to shit when they did a few festivals like Glastonbury and things like that. And there's no mistake in his voice. He's the lead singer from Blur, so there's no mistake in that, right? But yeah, these characters have been an ongoing narrative all through their music videos.
Yep.
Yeah, just the best. Stylo is probably the best one, and then maybe It's Dare music video wise. They're just So I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this to be more than an animated film. I'm excited for this to be a musical feature film because
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Is it going to be like a giant music video? What's it going
yeah,
to be? Like,
it will be like, I mean, I don't know. I haven't read up on it. I know it's coming because he's been talking about it for a long time. But I'm hoping it'll be a visual representation of an album, kind of like what Pink Floyd did with The Wall.
wow.
Do you remember
That
The
would be,
Wall?
yeah,
Yeah.
that would be so cool.
Because I love nothing more than going to the cinemas to see like music on screen. I about 12, 15 years ago, I hosted a few screenings in town of artists that released albums with video components. So, like for example, there's a band called Death Cab for Cutie, and they released an album, and in line with the album, they released a music video for every single track, so you could play it as a film. Same with Elbow, they released an album with a narrative video component, and so we screen these on a big screen. It's the best. It's the fucking best. And
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
for the Gorillaz to do this, that's very exciting.
Yeah. Well, I hope it's everything that you're hoping for, because I think it's going to be really fucking cool.
Particularly their brand of music too. Like,
yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
God, it'll be great. It'll be great.
Yeah. So that was on my list.
Woohoo!
Woo!
What have I got here? Are you into the Rocky franchise at all? Okay.
I've seen the first one.
Okay. Well, you may or may not know that the director's cut of Part 4 is getting a release very soon, which is
okay.
very, very exciting to fans. A lot of people consider it to be the sort of the best of all of the sequels.
Okay.
And one of the characters in that was Drago, played by Dolph Lundgren.
Mm-hmm.
And he appeared in Creed 2, which is part 7, I think, of the franchise. So he came back in part 7.
Yep.
But I read this week that he may be getting his own spin-off movie, which will be interesting because the way Creed and Creed 2 are, they're sequels to the Rocky franchise, but they kind of stand alone as well. You could start fresh. And so for Drago to get his own little sort of sidequel or whatever you want to call it, I think that's pretty cool.
Nice. Is it going to take like prequels of his story? Is it going to go? Oh,
I don't know.
Nobody
knows.
knows.
I don't know. It's just Dolph Lundgren talking about it. I would envision maybe prequel, like just young Drago in Russia, how he became the character he's. I don't know, but it's exciting for fans of Rocky because it's an amazing universe. It's a blockbuster universe. It's also grounded really strong in drama.
Yeah.
You know,
nice.
and they're all good films. Like they're all of them are pretty good.
Yeah, look, I've seen the first one, but that's about as far as I got. Sly is not really my jam. I'm not huge into him.
It's funny that I reckon if you explored it a little bit, like with an open mind, I reckon you'd really get into him because he's a writer, he's a director, he's an actor.
I think I could too. Yeah, I think you're right. I just haven't given him a chance like I should have.
His dramatic chops are just amazing, particularly if you saw Creed, like the movie Creed, where he plays Rocky dying of cancer, and it is just. He got nominated for an Oscar for it. Like it's
wow. Okay.
Yeah, and Copland, and so many great films he's made. He directed the sequel to Saturday Night Fever, Staying Alive.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's a bit of a genius. He's an unassuming genius.
Yeah. Look, he's just never grabbed my attention, so I might just have to open myself up to that, and see where that leads, and see if I can.
Dive into some of like even his 80s action movies like Tango and Cash and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think I've seen Tango and Cash. Or maybe my friends had dogs called Tango and Cash, and I didn't realize what. Yeah, they had two beagles, one called Tango, one called Cash, and I didn't get the joke. So.
Yeah, my sister-in-law has dogs, Jake and Elwood. So.
Okay.
Blues Brothers.
I had a dog called Billy.
Billy.
My last name's Elliot, so Billy Elliot.
I think you've told me that before, and I think I had the same reaction.
I thought it was really funny, so whatever.
I haven't had a pet for a while, but I would probably name them after movies if I was allowed to.
Yeah, that's the only one I've gotten away with, apart from my cat Freddie, who I named after Fred Weasley, but my husband doesn't know that yet. So,
is he a ginger cat?
No.
Oh, is this the black cat that likes to make cameos?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
More of
And
a
I tried to
Freddie...
call my son Harry, but I wasn't having it.
Yeah, because both famous Harrys are... Oh, no, one Harry's ginger. Why am I still on the ginger fucking thing?
I love
Your
gingers.
your son's a blonde.
Yeah, very. Yeah.
Harry. Nah, glad you didn't.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Although he does love Harry Potter, so I mean, it could have worked out all right.
I know. Well, if you go for a fourth, call it Dumbledore.
Dumbledore. I'll call him Albus Severus.
Oh, shit. Do you like Point Break? Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves?
It has been so long since I've seen that movie, so I think I do.
Well, I believe that's getting a sequel.
I did read that somewhere actually, and look, if Keanu is up for it for a sequel, then I am totally into it. That's my best Keanu. Don't look at me like that.
No, you've just made it onto TikTok again.
Bogus.
Man, yeah, but the problem I have with Keanu right now, everyone agrees Keanu's the greatest. We all love him, blah, blah, blah. But...
blah, blah, blah. Right, okay.
Well, here comes the blah, 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 because he's gotten to a point now that he can only maintain his stamina in Hollywood if he's clinging on to nostalgia. So it's sequels of movies he made in the 80s. It's remakes, or it's mostly sequels, or it's like a property that's pre-established that he's falling back on. He's doing The Matrix. He did Bill and Ted. It's just it's all becoming very sameish for me as far as Keanu goes.
It is, and on the other hand, he is making people happy by that as well, because he's just he just seems like a genuinely nice guy. Like, I don't know, like I think that kind of makes a difference.
Can you imagine, because we all agree, Keanu's the best, and Keanu's the guy everyone wants to know. He rides the subway, he gives people money, blah, 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 blah. Imagine if he was just a cunt.
Right. So I think that would be a huge difference. No one would go see fucking Bill and Ted.
No. I'm saying, imagine, in real life, if that is what he is, and we've all been hoodwinked by this son of a bitch.
Oh, well, I mean, he is a good actor.
Yeah, greatest performance of all time.
What do you think of Dracula? Him and Dracula?
He's the worst thing about Dracula.
I love him, but I hate him for that,
Yeah, look, I adore the film. I think it's my favorite adaptation of Dracula, period. But he is miscast sorely.
Yeah,
It's not his fault. It is just bad casting. But did you read this week that that him and Winona Ryder are most likely married in real life because they were married in the film by a real Romanian or Roman priest?
How would that be? It'd be so great together.
But,
they're both slightly weird. They both seem like nice people. I think that'd be cool.
I went quiet then because you froze on me.
Oh, sorry.
My reaction was
I'm like, he does not agree.
That's the look of my stomach dropping,
oh no. No. She won't drop out this week. I'm all good.
Anyway, so you were saying that was lovely, I guess.
Yeah, I think that'd be really lovely because they're both slightly weird. And they both seem like genuinely nice people. So I think they'd be perfect together.
But
are they married? I don't know.
Well, that's the whole thing. They probably are.
Oh, I like that.
But haven't they both been married since?
Yeah, well, that's what I want to know. Because then that's illegal.
Yep. Shit.
Just Chloe stating facts.
You must be excited that the movie Clifford is getting a sequel.
I couldn't really care less, to be honest. Yeah, nah, that doesn't stand out to me. I like Jack Whitehall.
That's the only reason I said that, because I know you love that guy.
Oh yeah, I do like him, but yeah, nah. Clifford never really tickled my fancy when I was a kid, and still doesn't. So
yeah, fair enough. Remember the movie Clifford that Martin Short made back in the 90s?
No,
and it wasn't about a big red dog. It was just about him as a like mid 40-year-old guy playing a 12-year-old.
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
This is weird.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if I want to see that.
No, just it's very perverse almost. Like,
well, I watched Big, which is like a similar type of thing, and that freaked me out a little. So
it's still a great film. Still a great film.
oh, it is. It's just very wrong.
Yeah, well, 80s were wrong, and I love it because it was wrong.
Speaking of movies getting a series adaptation, MacGruber is turning into a series.
I know.
Come on.
That came from nowhere.
Oh, sorry. No, well, I thought we were on the...
No, not that. The movie. The series that came from nowhere. Fucking hell. Here's a page. Get on it.
I'm trying.
MacGruber.
It's so good. We just need more Will Forte in the world, and we're getting it.
I disagree, but I do like him. I like him, but I don't think we need more of him. I don't think we need another MacGruber. I think one movie standalone is plenty.
I think a series would be really lovely.
Lovely. I don't want a lovely MacGruber.
No, I think I watched the trailer for it today, and fuck, it's fucking funny. It's just so dumb. It's funny. Oh, I love it.
I have no doubt it's going to be good. I just don't really want it.
Fair enough. I don't want it. Okay, Glenn. Okay, Glenn.
Oh,
you don't have to have it.
Can we bring the video to a close with a little bit of more of a sad story and a bit of a tribute?
Sure.
Because this week, David Gulpilil passed away, the legendary Indigenous actor, Australian actor, who has been in so many things, from Walkabout, which was his debut back in the 70s, to Stormboy, and he was in Crocodile Dundee, and I'm just ripping these off the top of my head. I've got to remember what he's in.
I know
Charlie's Country.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Like, he was... Like, his stamp on the Australian cinematic landscape is just remarkable. And this is a guy who, because of the movies he made, he got to party with Hollywood elite. He got to dance and eat with the Queen. Like, this is a absolute icon of Australian cinema. So, yeah, I thought that was, really sad news, because he led, outside of cinema, he led a pretty rough life as well, because he still lived in his community, and sort of when they wanted him for films, he'd fly to Sydney or LA or wherever was necessary. And yeah, just an incredible actor. I just used to love watching him on screen, so wanted to just
Well, that's very nice of you, and that's very sad. And I'm sure he lived a life, and he made waves in ways that he probably couldn't even possibly know with his community and other communities. So
yeah, totally.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, I spoke with the director Rolf de Heer last year, who's directed him in quite a lot of movies, and when I was talking to him about who are the greatest actors you've worked with, and this is a guy that's worked with big actors, Hollywood actors, Australian actors, and he's like David Gulpilil, without a doubt, the greatest actor and mind that he knows. So. Yeah. So anyway,
just goes to show you that you can have the biggest name in Hollywood and still mean jack shit to people. So
that's right. So if you Google his name, you'll see tributes flowing from all over the world. I really hope that the Oscars give him an in memoriam placard on the screen.
Yeah, it'd be shit if they didn't.
It sure would, but they've been known to leave people out, and that sucks. But yeah. And do you want to know the really obviously him passing is very sad, but just to add to the tragedy is that the day he died was the same day that the documentary about his life got released on DVD.
Oh, man.
I know. That's bad marketing.
Or maybe it's good marketing, so they can spread the joy a little bit more with more sort of awareness. So maybe he did that on purpose to get his name out there a little bit more and create inspiration for people a little bit more.
I think you misspoke. I don't think he didn't do it on purpose.
No, I know that. Maybe he did, though. No, he didn't. That's really offensive. I didn't mean that at all.
That's okay. It's the freestyle nature of the show, and that reaction says it all. But no, Valet, David Gulpilil, like absolute legend, and that pretty much brings us to the end of the video. How do you want to sign off from this one? Apologizing?
I am so sorry. I really am though. Like
I know
really
you are.
am.
I can see the regret in your face, and
I feel terrible. I shouldn't have said anything like that.
That's totally amusing to me, though.
Thanks. My pain is amusing to you. There we are, folks. You have it. Chloe, glowy.
We've just found our name, Gloey.
This is Glowy Up Late. The really offensive YouTube and Facebook channel show.